Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for Focus Employment Services and Press on Interviews virtual workshop. So today's workshop, we will be covering types of interviews, types of interview questions, what to do before an interview, 3 stages of an interview, what to do at each stage, what to do after an interview, and how to respond confidently with examples. So different types of interviews. There is the informational interview, group interview. Common today is the Skype, video, Zoom, Teams interview, panel interview, pre-screening phone interview, the one-on-one interview, or skills testing interview. First of all, we'll talk about the video interview, Skype, Zoom, Teams, whatever platform you're using. So typically we suggest to make sure you have the right technology. Confirm what video system platform the company will be using and test it out beforehand. If you're unfamiliar with using programs such as Skype or Zoom, you can look up some tutorials online, ask your friend or family member to help, and as well, you can always reach out to Focus, and we're happy to help you with that. When you are on camera, be aware of your surroundings, keep your space looking professional as possible and as uncluttered as well, and ensure you have good lighting. It is also recommended to shut down all open files and streaming software, as this can interfere with video speed and picture quality. Dress as you would for an in-person interview. Resist the temptation to dress only from the waist up. Choose a quiet space away from any distractions and noise. Inform the people you live with that you'll be unavailable during this time, and arrange for child and pet care so you're not disturbed during your interview. Some more tips for successful video interviews is to maintain eye contact, make sure you are looking at the camera throughout, maintain positive body language. If you do encounter technical issues, stay calm and ask the interviewer if they would prefer to continue the interview over the phone or maybe call back, and prepare, and don't forget to smile and try to relax. So, types of interview questions. There's the behavioral, we'll discuss today, situational and traditional interview questions. First up is the behavioral interview questions. So typically with these questions, your past behavior will predict future behavior. Inexperienced interviewers tend to like the behavioral interview questions. Some examples of behavioral interview questions may be, give me an example of a goal you reached and tell me how you achieved it. Or, what do you do when your schedule is interrupted? Give me an example of how you would handle that. Tell me about a time where you worked effectively under pressure. As well, a common behavioral interview question would be, tell me about a time where you had a conflict. How did you resolve the conflict? With behavioral interview questions, we suggest the S.T.A.R method to respond confidently to the behavioral interview questions. So with the S.T.A.R method, you would state what the situation was or what task you were given. You would indicate A for action. What action did you take as an individual? I know we always work within teams, which is great, but try to pick examples where your contribution to the situation or task was significant. And the end was result. What results did you get? And hopefully you can pick examples where you had really good results, positive results. Good thing about behavioral interview questions, it's really up to you the examples you pick. So you can pick examples that really showcase your experience as it relates to the position you're applying for. With situational interview questions now, so predicting your future behavior, so how you would react in a particular situation. Some examples of these would be, if you know your boss is 100% wrong about something, how would you handle it? Or if you witness your fellow employee stealing at work, what would you do? Or if a customer started yelling at you at work, what would you do? So they're putting you in basically real life situations that you may encounter on the job, and how would you react in those situations? So try to relate back to your experience or how you feel you would react given the situation and the line of work you're in or that you're interviewing for. Traditional interview questions, these are typically get to know you questions. Very common icebreaker question, tell me about yourself. With this question, we typically suggest that you focus on your professional experience or education and how it relates to the position you're applying for. Even though it may seem a very informal question, try to stay away from personal details. Strengths and weaknesses, that's a common interview question as well. It's very traditional. we typically suggest you, of course, respond to the question, address any weaknesses you may have. And again, if you have weaknesses, address ways which you're trying to improve upon that. And your strengths, always start with your weaknesses and end strong with your strengths. As well, they may ask you, what do you know about our organization? We always suggest that you research the company beforehand. And if you have, and you've learned something or you have questions, this is a great way to showcase that you've researched them and you have some questions. And it can really impress the interviewer as well. So the 7-Eleven rule, it takes 7 seconds to make a good first impression. So let's avoid these 7 things. So being late, swearing, limp handshake, of course, that's in non-COVID times, inappropriate dress, being disorganized, no eye contact, bringing up personal issues, chewing gum, wearing hats, crossed arms, or slouching. And I would add to that as well, if you're a smoker, try to refrain from that, no heavy scents before an interview. Okay. Before the interview, so scope out the location, allow sufficient time to get there, make sure you know where you're going, research the company, we talked about that, review your resume, check in with your work references, anticipate questions, so practice your responses with a friend or family member. You can always book a mock interview with Focus, just reach out to us and we're happy to have a mock interview with you a couple days or a day before your actual interview. Prepare questions to ask the employer. Bring clean documents, copies of your resume to the interview, and make sure you dress appropriately. You should always dress one step above or one step up in terms of what the business attire would be. Now we'll talk about the stages of an interview. So stage 1, introduction, stage 2, exchange of information, and then the closing. So with the introduction, this is typically very short, but an important part of the interview process. You make a good first impression. It is suggested to maintain good body posture, friendly smile, steady eye contact should be displayed during the introduction. A small talk will be an informal topics of discussion. So a lot of times they're just trying to make you feel at ease and comfortable during your interview. Stage 2 be questions by the interviewer. They would ask you questions, then you can have an opportunity a lot of time to ask questions. We suggest you prepare at least 2. Reach out to us if you have any questions about that. We can help you with that. Avoid questions about, so we typically suggest to avoid questions about salary, vacation, benefits, etc. However, be prepared if an interviewer asks you what your salary expectations are. We suggest you have a range in mind and let them know what that range is. But again, if you have questions about this, feel free to reach out to us and we're happy to help you with this. Stage 3 is a closing. You want to know when you'll hear back, when can you follow up with them, you want to thank them for their time, and you want to send a thank you email within 24 hours or same day. So with a thank you email, typically same day is what we recommend. Thanking them for their time. As well, if there's any loose ends that you felt that during the interview that you want to tighten up, this would be a good way to address them in the thank you email. After the interview, if possible, get your interviewer's contact information. Write them a personalized thank you email. Reach out to your references, especially if you have, giving out your reference list. Make sure you reach out to your references, let them know about the position and that they can expect a call. Keep up with the job search, keep looking. There's always new opportunities. And follow up when the employer has asked you to do so, if that's the way they want you to follow up, or if they prefer that they let you know. So 4 final tips for a successful interview. Be prepared, be yourself, be positive, and be enthusiastic. So if you have any questions or any follow-up and you'd like to reach out to us, please feel free to do so. We're happy to help. You can contact us at info@focuscdc.on.ca or toll free. You can reach us at 1-877-513-0187. Thank you.